I'm going to show you a little solution I have for getting a little bit more droop with your 8-scale Arrma vehicles. Could translate into other vehicles as well. But the main problem when you're trying to get a lot of droop when you're doing speed runs is as you're drooping the arms, they start angling up, and that little grub screw ends up right at the end of here. And even if it was a bit longer, it would just slip off the side. Stock setting is M4 by 10 millimeter. I've got the rear arm here, which is actually not my biggest problem. It's the front A arms that I have the problem with. Getting in there to adjust the grub screw from the top is difficult. So I've got a couple options here. I've got this threaded rod. It's an 832 standard, and then I've got the M4 bolt, which I got at Lowe's. I didn't want to wait to order. That nut for the M4 is about 4 millimeters tall. This other nut is about 6. And if you notice, this 6 millimeter nut is 2 millimeters above the arm joint there, which is important because you want to be able to reduce your droop as well. So I'll take the 30 millimeter M4 bolt, put it in the vise. I already pre-measured halfway in between, and I'm just going to simply cut it with a hacksaw and then cut the end off. Next, I'm going to get some CA glue, and I've got some jet, real thin, instant bond, and I'm going to glue some nuts on the bottom of these grub screws. And then I've also got this C2000 CA glue that is mixed with a little rubber. It's really high strength, which we absolutely need so that nut does not come loose. Adjusting the nut from the bottom, but I like to use the jet instant to get in those threads to make sure I've got a good bond. Now this set that I made, I used that threaded rod and cut it with a hacksaw and put a little flathead groove in the top there. So I already pre-glued with the jet instant bond, let it dry for about 20 minutes, and then I'm putting the heavy duty stuff on. But I'm gonna gob this on, and so it will take overnight to dry correctly. I'll turn it over, and now I like using M4 screws with a hex, obviously. But I wanted to make sure I got a longer grub screw with the nut, and longer than 10 or 12 millimeter is difficult to find. Longer than that, they tend to jump to M5 or M6. Okay, let's see what this looks like installed. So obviously I'm putting together this SPEEDRUN car, but I wanted to show you kind of where the resting spot is for the A-arms and kind of what it looks like. So that is with the M4 with the 4 millimeter nut on it, and as you can see, it's not quite horizontal to start with, and you can really get very low by adjusting it. If you like what you see, subscribe, comment below if there's anything else you want me to do a tip on, let me know.